Okay, you got to hear this, man. An online text war has erupted between a couple married last weekend and a DJ they accuse of a lot of nasty things.
Oh, not happy texting.
No. This was on the Telegraph, which is UK publication, telegraph.com. And a young couple got married, and the DJ, they were so unhappy with the DJ that not only did they want some of their money back, but they're suing them.
For more money.
And yeah, and no, they're suing them because they didn't want to give the money back. And it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot anyway. And they wrote a nasty review about him on an online buyer beware site, which I think it's called Kijiji, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But anyway, let me tell you here a little bit about this.
So why were they so upset?
The couple,
what did he do?
Well, first of all, he got drunk at a BYOB wedding. In other words, they didn't pay for the booze.
He drank somebody else's booze.
Everybody else brought their own booze. The DJ got drunk on
drinks.
The booze. Okay,
that's always top of the list of good things. A good DJ should always know how much liquor you can handle.
Exactly. Well, and while he was getting drunk on the bride's booze, he was hitting on the bride's friends. Oh. And then he started out with some nice country music that they really liked, but then he got a little drunk, and then the music got nasty, really nasty. And now the only thing they could come up with like
off to the rodeo,
an artist.
Nasty?
No, which now see that's where I went when I heard nasty in country. But no, he went away from country and started playing Eminem, which but I mean he must have got into some really angry Eminem, which
the early Eminem, not the
really angry, not the
totally
father Eminem,
changed Eminem, the complete reinvention of Eminem.
So he's hitting on the female guests. He's hitting on female guests. He's playing inappropriate music. And then he starts a fight with the bride's brother. Oh. And then my favorite part is they finally said, something, why don't you just quit and wrap your stuff up and go home. And
they asked him just to quit before it was over.
No. The party was over. The hall, they had to be out of the hall by 2. And around, midnight, they said, something, the party's, you're kind of scaring everybody away anyway, and we're upset with you anyways, but it's midnight, so why don't you just wrap up your stuff and go? We'll just wrap up the party. And he wouldn't. He wouldn't stop. Wow. He just kept going.
That's called an over-deliver, I think.
Well, maybe that's what he thought he was doing, is like, well, they're upset, so maybe I'll keep playing.
So what of all this are they upset about?
I don't know, really, honestly. Afterwards,
this is the Bill and Jason show. I'm Jason Jones. That's Bill.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is amazing. I mean, he also took a lot of video and he posted it on his website of people partying, and having fun, and they didn't like that. So they wanted him to take that down.
Oh, see, that's really interesting, because even at weddings, I'm seeing this more and more and more. More DJs, and they're being told, like, video blog, and they're shooting video at private events and then posting it on their Facebook page, posting it all over. And at what point do you have or have you requested permission to actually?
Most people don't ask permission, so
they just do it.
They do it, and then they ask for forgiveness afterwards, which I get. But they said, please don't do it. And instead of saying, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I'm taking it down," he says, "No, I'm not going to take it down." And
he's a peach.
And so now they wrote this horrible review about him. Okay, that got like over 6,500 views.
Oh wow, they must have wrote it really well.
A lot of views on this horrible review. So his reputation is ruined, and he will not take this video down until they take that down. And now they get this. He charged them $300.
Wow,
$300, and the only thing they wanted back was $100. This is all over giving back $100. This is crazy.
That's insane.
Not only that, but make it even worse. His mother got involved on the online thing, and mom got involved, and the couple is 2 brides, so it's the same-sex wedding. So she made like a nasty comment about the fact that they, if you got a problem with your lifestyle, you shouldn't take it off on my husband, on my son. It's like, oh no. So now mom's made it worse by making
mom's
a
made
gay
it about
stereotype.
That it's a gay wedding. That's what the problem.
It just gets worse. No, my favorite part about the story is the final line, which says both couple and Martin are considering going to the police.
Oh my. over $100.
That's the line at the end of this whole thing.
Wow, that's insane. Well, we should get some legal advice on this. We should
find
out what should we do? And
we should call my attorney.
Just the guest to do this. I'm so excited to introduce and bring on the show attorney at law Rob Schenk, who practices in Atlanta and he practices in
all over the place,
several other states, all over the place, and he works for a wedding industry folks,
a lot of wedding industry
DJs, people. A lot of wedding industry. So he's really, really familiar. And maybe has this DJ
and for years he's been
yet,
doing this.
Rob?
It's been so hard for him over the years to deal with wedding employers and things like that. And he's just pulled out his hair trying to make sure he does it well. That's my only bald joke there, Rob.
How you doing, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Right. Thanks for having me. Right. Well, let me just say. Can I just say this one thing from a legal standpoint?
Yes. You can say lots of things from a legal standpoint.
Drinking is okay.
Really?
Fighting is okay.
Really?
It's the Eminem playing the Eminem.
Really? That's the line?
The guy from
there are
Atlanta.
a lot of moving parts to this. This guy is going to get smoked in court. So
yeah, if it does come to that, that's going to be the whole.
Well, I would think that they would probably have to spend more money than the $100 they wanted back to take him to court.
Right, exactly. Like a retainer is going to be like way more than that.
Yeah, no question. So yeah, the couple here is going to have a breach of contract claim, and they have a legitimate basis for it. I mean, you have to, as a DJ, perform in a reasonable manner that's standard in the industry, right? Which does not include drinking or hitting on the bridesmaids.
Interesting. So, standard in the industry. Are there certain assumptions around standard in the industry?
What would be the standard of the industry for DJs in this? Is there assumptions, or is there something written down that we don't know about?
Yeah, if the standard is primarily, for the most part, mediocre to annoying, does that give more leeway?
That'd be a great argument.
That's an excellent question, guys. I mean, so if I was litigating this, I would have to bring on a DJ as an expert witness and say, these are the things that I would do or would not do, and then they can feel free to bring their DJ on, and it's a battle of the experts, right? So that's how you're going to...
DJs. I would love to see that. I'd pay to see that.
That would be really good. Okay, now we would like to bring on this DJ expert to tell you what the standards of the industry are. And then you bring another guy in who says, what are you talking about? Okay, me and my friends, we drink at every event. I start a fight just to get the party going. Yeah, what are you, nuts?
That's reasonable and customary.
Girls are expecting me to hit on them because, look at me, I'm gorgeous.
That's right. And if you don't drink, you're no fun.
Exactly. So what you're looking for is a teetotaling, ugly DJ for a long time.
Sounds like I got my part-time job.
there you go. It's like, well, so we're willing to be your DJ experts anytime you need us to come in. We'll be like, what is it? Every Perry Mason episode has bring on the expert witness. We'll be the hired guns.
So, Rob, can I ask you, did you grow up in the South in Atlanta?
Not in Atlanta, but in the South, yes. I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, went to school in Knoxville at UT, and then just immigrated to Atlanta to go to law school, and I've been in Atlanta ever since.
When, at one point, when you were a boy, did you think, cowboy, no, wait, fireman, no, wait, I'm going to be a rock star, wait, no.
I'm going to defend DJs.
Lawyer. When did you decide lawyer?
Actually, you got very close to that. I wanted to be a rock star for a long time. And so once that dream fell through, because I couldn't be, 30 years old playing in front of nobody, I just took the skill set that comes along with being a rock star, that being arguing and performing, just translated it.
So wait a minute. Let's back
this wasn't
up then.
To make your parents angry?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They were much happier me going to law school versus playing at, Rick and Amy's Roadhouse.
No, let's go back here. You were in a band then.
Yes, I was in a rock band all through high school, through college, and for a couple years I gave it a shot. Gave it a college try after college. And
what was the name of the
band?
After
that, I went to law school. Well, as long as everybody promises not to look it up, we were called Cab Over Pete.
Cab Over Pete?
Cab Over Pete?
C-A-B over P-E-T-E?
Is this like a wine reference?
That's right. So that's a reference to a Peterbilt truck.
Oh.
And technically it comes from the song Convoy from C.W. McCall.
Okay.
So it's just a a reference to that.
Seeing that I am not an attorney, I am, and I'm speaking to an attorney, I'm going to not promise you at all that we aren't going to look that up, because that is awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
That may be how we introduce you when we introduce you at Las Vegas. And now, live, were you the lead singer?
We should mention actually that Rob's going to be
the lead singer of Cabin Pete.
He's going to be singing at
he's going to be
Mobile
singing
Beat show 2015 for Mobile Beat.
What was your best song? What was your show killer? I mean, not your show killer. What brought the house down?
Good questions.
That was a problem. We weren't ever bringing the house down. We were actually, people were saying, get off the stage.
Oh, no.
So yeah.
Okay, so you.
What was your favorite song to sing though? Didn't you have a favorite? Didn't you have a favorite song?
Yeah, we did. It was original, and I guess the best one we had was called "Rise Up," but not that anybody would ever heard of that. But I wanted to clarify that I wouldn't say that I was a singer. I was a vocalist. Don't want to claim that I can sing.
Is that kind of like the difference between like being a comedian and a humorist? You know, a humorist just has to be mildly amusing to totally kill.
Exactly. Whereas I can say I'm a vocalist only because I move my mouth and loud noises come out of it.
Oh, I am so looking up Rise Up as soon as we're done here. I'm going to buy it off of iTunes tonight.
I mean, everybody who goes into law kind of chooses a niche, because law is like, is like going into medicine. Like, what kind of medicine? So what was it that had you choose that you wanted to support and serve the wedding industry? Or the entertainment industry?
I had an ex-girlfriend that was a wedding photographer, and I reviewed her contract after she got some beef with somebody, so realized that it needed to change. And then from there I got a reputation within the wedding photography community within Atlanta, and then from there I reached out into the actual wedding and event industry, and I started getting phone calls from venues, planners, DJs, and then from there I went on basically the speaking circuit, and it just grew from there.
Wow, it just kind of organically took off.
That's correct, yeah. So we litigated some cases, settled a lot of disputes without having to file lawsuits or be a defendant in a lawsuit. And,
sure.
But a majority of what I do is contract work. So contracts between the event industry professionals and the actual clients and between vendors.
So what's the most common advice that you give people that you feel like, oh, I'm giving this advice again? Like, you're always giving the same advice.
The advice was, strangely enough, is to have a written contract. Like, you would be amazed at how many companies, even companies that have been around for a long time, don't operate with written contracts. And aside from that, within the contract, having a deposit policy that's actually written and explicit. A lot of times, people don't have that at all. So,
like how?
Because that's
how or when or if the deposit's refunded, that sort of thing?
That's exactly right. And when that's not explicit, then you can be toast. So.
Yeah, well, I guess it would be. What is it? What about the? Actually, that just reminds me of one thing. You need
to go back and review your contract.
I do. Let me just get down here. But the thing about the deposit being like defining as a deposit, even if there's no such thing as a non-refundable deposit. Is that true? If the word deposit is used, that can never be non-refundable.
Well, let me just say this: that the law is going to be different depending on what state you're in. But by and large, you can call it whatever you want. You can name it in Latin. You can call it big toe. It doesn't matter. As long as what you say, if it's deposit, retainer, installment, payment, whatever you want, as long as you explicitly define when and how it goes back to the client, if it ever does, then you're probably going to be okay.
So it pretty much has to say a non-refundable retainer, non-refundable deposit, booking fee.
I like big toe.
Big toe. I'm going to change it to that.
Put it in bold. Yeah.
We will take your big toe and return it to you after your wedding's done. Just be sure you don't limp.
That's right.
Exactly. So what do you like to do when you're not lawyering?
Yeah, good question.
When is that really? No. So even though the band is still not around, I still kind of write music. So I do that, and then I try to go to Vegas as much as I can to play poker, because it's too far of a drive in Atlanta to go to the nearest poker room. So I might as well just get on a flight and go to Vegas.
Are you good? Are you good?
Am I good? Not really. So
he's still lawyering.
Game.
Are you winning, or are you in the? Where are you in your stack right now? Is your stack up or down?
I'm slightly up, actually, so I should be happy.
What would depending on who you talk to, slightly means $100. Slightly could mean $10,000. I mean, I suppose I shouldn't. I'm not going to be specific, but
yeah, it won't be up 10,000 until I'm doing much better.
I was going to say, have you ever? What was the biggest pot you ever won? One time, boom.
Maybe a couple grand, but that's really rare for me.
That's pretty good, though.
Wow, that is pretty good. Do you play with your friends or only strangers?
Well, we have a home game here in Atlanta that's highly illegal. But
so
I'm glad it's on this podcast.
Yeah, we only play for toothpicks. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Right.
Peanuts.
Play for Starburst candies. And then,
it's the wrappers that
Vegas,
have the value.
The pink one.
One or two of my buddies will come with me, and we'll go. So
well, see, now you guys can start putting like Bitcoin in the pot, right? And then you don't have to worry about any of that.
We should ask the attorney what he thinks of Bitcoin. Yeah, really, honestly,
if we transact in Bitcoin, it doesn't count legally.
Oh man, I can't. Don't even get me started on Bitcoin. I don't even understand. I'm like an old lady when it comes to that stuff.
Have you ever had a vendor accept payment? This is way off left field. I promise I won't go off on a bunch of questions about this, but I have a personal interest in Bitcoin.
Yes, he does.
Have you ever had an issue come up where either a vendor or has taken payment or done anything like in Bitcoin, and had that been part of the conversation?
I have not actually. I've had clients that are not event industry people try to ask if I'll accept Bitcoin as payment, but in terms of negotiating something or putting something in a contract, I haven't dealt with Bitcoin at all.
That hasn't come up yet.
And you've passed the bar in several different states, right?
Yes. So at this point, I can reciprocate in without having to take bars in most states. But when I first started, I had to sit for the bar in Georgia. Went to Georgia, then Tennessee, Florida, New York, and California.
Wow. So that website, experttesttaker.com, is that you?
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Like that's the thing is, like, I didn't take any of those classes. I think if you just can get up in the morning and study, you'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Forget about that all the time.
I'm still looking for better advice than study.
Right.
The quest goes
there was a
along.
time for a couple of years where I was just sitting for bars left and right.
Well, I bet.
It'll be really interesting when we have him in Las Vegas for his thing at the Mobile Beat Las Vegas conference that we're going to be hosting, and we're helping to design. Maybe what we'll throw into this. Well, no, we are. What I said? Is that what I said? Well,
we're hoping to design.
Oh well, you got to let me do a couple things. Jeez, but maybe what we'll do is we'll throw like an afternoon. Everybody that comes to see Rob, 2 people afterwards will get a special coaching from Rob at the poker table at the Riv.
There, that would be good. Yeah,
he'll show you. You sit down with $1,000 a piece, and he'll show you how to lose it very quickly.
We'll do a drawing. All they have to do is write their name on the back of a $100 bill,
right,
and put it in the hat, and we'll draw one
out, and that person will get the $100 back, and they'll learn how to play poker.
No, they won't get that. Rob will show them what he would do with it on the table.
Oh, there you go.
And so it'll be a whole big learning experience for all of us.
Oh, that's really interesting though. The idea. I wonder if the idea of playing poker and being a litigator, if there are things that kind of overlap and parallel.
Strategically calling someone's bluff.
Oh, all that comes into play. The analysis of how they're betting, the bet patterns, how they're reacting to your bets, that kind of thing. That's all translatable. You're just doing an analysis of behavior and how much you can get from somebody. Basically, it really is the same thing. And the more I play poker, I feel like the more I get better at being a litigator. So that's why I write it off, the losses on my taxes.
It's training.
Oh my gosh.
Education.
That's it. That's so great.
Okay, all right. So you win. That's the best.
That has to be what he talks about. That has to be what he talks about. Now, how can you write off your hobby? For your business.
Yeah. Better yet, how to be best at what you do by playing poker.
Oh, that's
there's a
learn.
We're writing your next speech. Is what we're doing right here, man.
Writing it for you there, Rob. Thanks so much for spending some time with us.
No kidding.
On the Bill and Jason show. We really look forward to hearing your presentation and having you be a part of the whole Mobile Beat Las Vegas experience, which is going to be really, really fun. And we get together, and then you can give us some tips around the poker table.
Absolutely.
Play poker and craps.
Thanks, Rob.
guys.
No problem. And you know, and thanks again for all of you for watching. If you haven't gone to the Twitter and followed us there, or to Facebook, or on our website, be sure to do so. You can find us on the web. You can even call up Jason and talk to him while he's trying to babysit his kid. So
you could. So until then, we'll talk to you again.
Yeah.
Broadcasting from high atop planet Earth at a rate of 96 kilobytes sample per second over the interweb in an effort to stop glorifying being busy. This has been an entertainment experience production.